Hi crafty friends, Carrie here. Today we are doing day number 8 of the 25 gifts under $10, and today we are going to be working on the boy's gift, or the kid's gift. I'm doing one for a boy. So this project was inspired by a video that I watched on Mixed Up Crafts by a lady named Sam, and I will link her video below. I did make a few changes, but this was inspired, and I like to give credit when I'm inspired. So you're going to need for this project 2 pieces of paper that is 8 by 11. You're going to need 2 that are 5 by 11. That will be our sides. And then you're going to need, okay, so for our pockets you need 2 pieces that are 4.5 by 4 and 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 1 3/4. Then for the bottom you need 1 piece that is 6 by 10 and 1 piece that is 5 3/4 by 9 5/8. Okay, for chipboard pieces you need 1 piece that is 4 7/8 by 7 7/8, and then you need 2 pieces that are 7 7/8 by 1 inch and 2 pieces that are 4 7/8 by 1 inch. Okay, and then for the front pocket you need a piece that is 8.5 by 5, and you need a piece that is 7 1/4 by 2 3/4, and then for the top pocket you need a piece that is 8 inches by 4 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and then for the straps you need 2 pieces that are 12 by 2 and 1 piece that is 6 by 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so we're going to put the bottom of the box together first. So you're going to take your piece that is 6 by 10 and you are going to score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So you'll just score it at 1 inch, turn it, score it at 1 until you've done all 4 sides. Then you'll do the same thing with your piece that is 5 3/4 by 9 5/8. You'll also score it at 1 inch. Okay, and then we're just going to fold on our score lines and burnish them down. Okay, so once we get these burnished down, we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to clip to the first score line on the ends and just take a little sliver out to give us that little extra space. And we'll do that on both pieces. Okay, now we're just going to put some glue on the tab, and then you just want to line it up and get it square. Just kind of press it in and hold it, and then you're going to come and do the next one. And we will do that till we get this box put together. I'm just taking my bone folder and pressing down to get it to go ahead and stick. Okay, so now that we have this done, we are going to put our chipboard pieces in. I'm just checking them out. That one was a little bit too long, so I'm just going to take a little sliver off. Add glue, and then we'll stick this into the bottom, and we will use our bone folder to burnish it down so it's making good contact. And then we're going to do the same thing with our side pieces. I'm just going to check them, and if they're a little too long or a little too high, I'm just going to take a little sliver off of them. And then we'll put those in. Sometimes when you're doing chipboard that you're doing as inserts, you have to finagle it a little bit to make it fit in. And we're just going to get that in there and get it pressed in. And this, by adding the chipboard, this is going to make the bottom of our box or our backpack box sturdier and more durable. And since I am making this for a kid, I want it to be sturdy and durable. Okay, so I'm just checking out the fit here to make sure it fits in. And it does. So then I will add the glue to it and get it into the box. And then that completes the bottom of our box. So the next thing we're going to do is get the sides ready. So now on the sides, on the 5-inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 4.5 inches. And then you're going to come in at 2.5 inches and you're going to score down just 4 inches. Then you're going to take it and you're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure up 5 inches from the bottom and just put a little pencil mark so that you can see that, and do the same thing on the other side. Then you take your ruler and you line up that little dot you made to the point where you stopped on the score line, and then just use your ruler as a guide and make diagonal score marks. Okay, then we're just going to take this and we're going to fold our 1/2 inch folds up on each side, and then we will fold that center fold that came down 4 inches, and you just have to kind of use your finger. It's the same thing, and pinch, and hopefully I'm going to get in frame here. Okay, and then you just want to fold on those lines, and then what you have is where you have like a little indent. So we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to fold and burnish, and then we're going to fold that one, and then just take these and just bend it with your fingers and just kind of use your fingers on those diagonal bolts to kind of pinch it. And you'll see it makes kind of like a, yeah, there we go. That's how your sides will go. Okay, so now we're going to take the back and we're going to attach the sides. And so to do this, I'm going to run glue all along the 1/2 inch strip. And then I am going to take some ATG tape as well. I'm going to run it right down by the edge, keeping it very close to the edge. And then I will take this and I will line it up and get the edges completely even and make sure it's at the top and the bottom. And then I will burnish it down with my bone folder and open it up and burnish it down again to make sure we've got good connection and wipe up any excess glue. Okay, and now we are going to do the same thing with the other side. We're going to add our glue, run a line of tape, and then get everything matched up and even, and we'll get it burnished down. I had a little tape peek out there, so I was just rubbing it off with an eraser. Okay, now we are going to get ready to put our box in. So just checking it to make sure it fits. And what I'm going to do is put glue all over the side, one of the long sides. And then I'm going to run a couple of rows of my ATG tape right here along the bottom. And I'm going to be very careful to make sure I've got this centered in between the score lines and that I have the box bottom and the edge of the paper lined up. And then I am going to start burnishing it down. Okay. Now we're going to do the side of the box, which you can't see, but I put glue along the side. And then I'm going to come down here on the bottom and I'm going to run some ATG tape. Put a little glue right there where it's going to bend up and over. Make sure I have it lined up. Then I'll lay it down on its side and go in there with my bone folder and get it all down and connected good. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Glue onto the box part, and then we'll run ATG tape along the bottom of the blue paper. Get it in there and get it burnished down. Now I'm going to put glue all along the bottom of the box here and on the two side pieces. And then I'm going to take what will be the front of the box and I'm going to run ATG down the side of both sides, and then on the bottom I'm going to run 2 strips of ATG there. Okay, and now this takes some time. You have to line up your side and your bottom, and you need to make sure you have it lined up before you start pressing down, because since there is ATG tape there, once you press down, it's stuck. So just take your time and make sure you have everything lined up. And once you have it lined up, then rub it with your hand. And then what I will do is I will flip it over and lay it down on that side, and then go in with my bone folder on the inside, do the sides, and come down in and do the box part as well to get it so that it's connected. And then this is how it will close, well, when we add the other piece to it. Okay, now we're going to get the side pockets ready. On the long side that's not scored on the pocket flaps, I rounded the corner using a 1/2-inch quarter rounder. Now we're just going to burnish down all of our score lines on the pocket. Okay, and then we're just going to do a little miter cut on the corners. That just makes it fold neater. And I'm just making sure it folds down good. Okay, and then I'm putting some little glue there at the corners. And this beaded pain, so I'm just going to slip it under my mat. And I do decide to switch and use my fabric glue, because it's a little bit stronger than the tacky glue usually. And I'm just going to run the glue right along the edges. Okay, and we're going to take this and you're just going to center it on the bottom part of your side. Just kind of rub it in, and then we move on to the second pocket and get some glue onto it. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're going to add the pocket on. Same thing here, just get it burnished down. Okay. Now we're going to get ready to do the flaps. So you have to just take a little snip off the end so that it'll slide in, just a little small angle cut. And then we're just going to put a little glue onto that flap. Okay, and then we just take that, slide it in. Now the glue is on the side that makes contact with the side of the bag, not with the pocket. So you're just going to get that in there. And then we're going to do the same for the other side. We'll just take a little snip off the ends so that it'll slide into our pocket easy. And just check it out, make sure it fits. Okay, and then we're just going to add a little glue. Okay, and get that in, and then press down. And now we're going to do the front pocket. So we're going to take, I'm just checking to see which side I want to be the front. Okay, so we're going to take our front pocket and we're going to score it. I mean, it's already scored, but we're going to fold the score marks. I don't know if I had said earlier, but those are scored at a 1/2 inch on the 3 sides. I'll have all this in the description box. And we're just going to get it. Now this one is, it's scored at a 1/2 inch and at 3/4 of an inch on all 3 sides. One side you don't score, because this pocket's going to have a little 1/4 inch. Okay, so after you fold on the score lines, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to, on the shorter side, you're going to cut on the score marks up to the second score mark. So you're going to cut on both of those up to the second score mark. I'm trying to show you, I'm having a horrible time with camera angles tonight. So it's going to go in, and you're just going to clip up to those. You're going to do it on both sides. And then once you're done, the larger of the 2 tabs, you're going to clip off, and then the smaller tab you're going to cut on the first score mark, and I'm going to lay it down flat here and show it to you in just a moment. Okay, so this is what it will look like. You cut the bigger one away, and then the smaller one, you just cut it on the first score line. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right there on that piece, and I'm going to fold that tab in. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to put a little dot of glue on that little bitty tab. I'm using hot glue just because it's easier with this tab being so small, except that my glue gun is really hot. Okay, so now once you have that done, then I'm putting a little dot of glue there, and I'm just going to connect the corners. And so that's going to give you a little 1/4 inch box. And then on the piece that will be the flap, you need it scored at 1/2 inch and at 3/4 of an inch also. I'm just going to come in with my glue and run that around the sides. And I'm just putting a couple little dots of hot glue to help it adhere quicker. And then you just put it down and use your hands to get it stuck down. Okay, then I'm doing the quarter rounding and then the folding. And then we're just going to do the little miter cuts on the sides so that it will be able to slip in easily. And I'm just going to come in here with the glue and run it all along that little flap. And then come in, stick it down, and then just use my hands to get it attached well. Okay, now we're doing the lid. So you scored at the 1/2 inch and the 3/4 inch mark. And then I'm rounding the corners as well. Okay, now before we put that lid on, we need to attach the straps. And what I'm doing is I'm using my crocodile and I'm punching a hole, and I punched a hole near the top of the bag, and I'm going to slip an eyelet in and then slip the strap piece on. And so the straps were 2 inches wide, and I scored them at a 1/2 inch on each of the long sides and then folded them over to make them sturdier and glued them down. Sorry, that was off camera. Okay, and then we just attach it with the eyelet. And we're going to come here and we're going to fold up probably about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to use my smaller punch, and I'm going to punch a hole in that. And then I'm going to use a brad to attach it. And I'm just going to take this little poke tool and about the same thing and come over. I'm just going to poke a little hole here. Then I'll slip my brad through like that and then turn it and then push it all through that hole and then open the prongs up on the inside. Okay, and then I'm looking for my little piece that's 3/4 of an inch by 6 inches. I'm just going to fold it to make like a loop. And okay, and then I'm going to hold it kind of in a crisscross and punch through. And then I'm going to come in and punch here at the top. And then I'm going to take another eyelet. And I will put it through and then attach my little loop. And then I will use my crocodile to attach the eyelet. Okay. And now because the back is going to be a bit bulkier, oh, I'm showing you I had added Velcro dots on the side pockets. And because this is going to be a bit bulkier, I'm going to decide to attach this using hot glue. So I'm just running a bead of glue. And then I'm lining it up at the top edge and trying not to burn myself, which I'm not super successful at. Okay. I'm going to have to come in and add in some more hot glue. I'm just going to work on this, getting some glue into the spots that are missing until I get this attached down well. I think in the original video she just used, I think, red line tape, but I just felt it was too bulky. Also, I attached my straps different than she attached hers, so that might be part of it. But I just want to make sure that this is attached good. Okay, so now that I have it attached good, we're going to do some magnets. So I have these these thin, super strong magnets. I get them from China. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put magnets on the inside. And to do this, I'm going to take my ATG and I'm just going to put a little tape onto the magnet. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to stick it probably about 2 or 3 inches down where I think it would be in the right place. You can move them with just the ATG tape if you need to. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the flap. I'm going to take another magnet and just let it flip onto the magnet underneath. And I think those look like they're in a good spot. Now I have made this little name label and embossed it with his name, Aiden. And I did a little faux stitching with my micron marker around the edge. And so I'm just going to come in here and put a bunch of ATG tape on here. And then I am going to put that on top of the magnets on the outside. And I'm just going to get this centered on here and get it pressed on and then just really smooth it down so it's on top of the magnets. And then what I'm going to do is take a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to add ATG tape to it and a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to put that over the magnets that are on the inside of the front. And I'm just going to get those smoothed down, and then that completes that. And then I'm going to put 2 magnets onto the front pocket as well. And I'm going to put tape on those, and then I accidentally stick them together and they're nearly impossible to get apart, so I get more magnets. And then I can't find my 4th magnet. Okay, get some tape on those, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put them in the pocket about where I think would be right and put the magnets on. And I decide that they need to go down a little bit further, so I just lift them off and move them down. Okay, I say that looks pretty good. Then I have this little patch that I made with a sticker and put it on some paper and added my little faux stitching with my micron pen. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that over and smooth it down to hide those magnets. And then I'll do the same thing. I'm going to take another piece of scrap and I'll use it to cover the magnets on the inside to make sure that they stay securely in place. Okay, and then I have these little stickers that I attached to some gray cardstock and then did some little faux stitching with my micron around the edges. That I was going to kind of put on as patches. I was looking at it for the flap of the pocket and I decided it was too big. So I came over here and put it on the front. But then I think I looked at some other stickers for something. Okay. And then I decided to take them and actually put them on the bottoms of the pockets. I think I may come back and add some buttons to those pockets. I'm not sure yet. I don't do it online. I mean on the video, but I may decide to add buttons on those pocket flaps. And so you just want to get it smoothed down. I'm going to have another little one that I had. I think it says I love dinosaurs or something like that. And I get these attached, and that's our completed bag. Now I'm going to put the fakes in it that I bought for the gift at the Dollar Tree. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the coloring book in. That's why I made this 11 inches high, so that the coloring book would fit in. Then I'm going to add the puzzle, crayons, slime, and then this little gemstone excavation kit thing. Everything fits in there nicely. It closes nicely. I probably will get some little stickers or some other kind of little goodies or candy, I don't know, and put in the pockets. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Click the bell for notifications. And as always, have a happy crafty day.